Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Big Blonde and Beautiful, the podcast. If you're new here, my name's Karolina Howie, and each episode I discuss a piece of media with fat representation in it and decide if I think it's positive or negative. This week, we're going to be talking about the movie School of Rock. But before we get into that, I would like to introduce my guest for this episode, Madi McCol. Thank you for being here.
Of course, thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Me too. So, Madi is a plus-size content creator based in Philadelphia whose work centers around fat joy and radical authenticity. Madi is on a journey of discovering her personal style after years of simply wearing whatever fit. And now she shares that process with her community through joyful, body-positive content that invites all of us to show up more fully as ourselves. And I love that because fashion is so important.
So important. It is a huge representation of who we are as people, and I'm tired of wearing just whatever's trendy. So
It's not even that, it's just whatever fits, honestly.
exactly.
Like, were you traumatized by business casual growing up as a child?
Okay, wait, because I was literally going to talk about that, about the fact that on school picture day, my
Mm-hmm.
best was business casual. It was Avenue from my mom's closet,
Mm-hmm.
and I just had to figure it out.
Yep. Uh, yes, as like a preteen, like not even a teenager. When I was a teenager, all that made me like that fit that made me not feel like a grandma was like leggings and a t-shirt.
Hmm.
So very basic stuff. So you had a
Yeah,
similar experience?
similar. And also, like, I was like, I don't want to wear leggings. And to be honest, nobody, I wouldn't say I agree with this, but no one wants plus size people to wear leggings because they
Mm-hmm.
want us to hide our body. And so
Yeah.
we're forced to wear whatever's stretchy and comfortable, quote unquote, comfortable, even though leggings aren't even that comfortable for me personally. And so, yeah. And then the scarcity mindset is so real. I've been saying it to all my friends lately. I'm like, scarcity mindset is a thief because I was taught to just take whatever I could get and don't
Mm-hmm.
throw a fit when it comes to clothing. And in most areas of my life, but specifically clothing. And
Yeah.
now I'm like, I am allowed to be picky. I'm allowed to have a preference. So I'm like
Mm-hmm.
heavy on the being mindful.
Yes. And also another thing is like when you're growing up, you're figuring out who you are. And a big part of that for a lot of people is through clothing and fashion. I personally did not have the privilege to do that. And I'm kind of starting that now. I literally just bought my first skirt. I've never bought a skirt before for myself. So,
Oh my God.
yeah.
How do you feel?
I don't know if it's me. I have to like style it. I haven't styled it yet, but it's nice to be able to like, explore it and find out if it's me because I do know that I like bold colors and prints, but yeah, I have only recently discovered that because like I said in high school it was leggings and a t-shirt and that was it.
That is so real. And like, I like how you said, I don't know if it's me, and that's okay. Like,
Mhm.
that's the whole point. You just have to figure it out. And how do you feel after a full day of wearing it, like on a comfortability level, but on an emotional level? And like,
Mhm.
it sucks to have to think about clothes that way because it's like, come on, they're just clothes, like whatever. But
Yeah.
as a bigger person, like, it's important to think about how you feel emotionally, how you present yourself in this world, in a society that just like wants you to hide who you are. And like, yeah, that's huge. I'm proud of you. That's exciting.
Thank you. I'm excited. I hope that I like it because I'm always worried about looking matronly. I think that's just like the trauma of growing up fat and being put in that category, especially as like a theater person. I was constantly put in those roles. Like I'm pretty sure the first time I ever played a mom on stage, I was like 9 years old. So in a kids production, but still, it's like
Yeah. Yeah. Like you're either Tracy Turnblad or,
the
the
mom
butt
or the grandma.
or like yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So that's really cool that you're also sharing your journey of fashion and just like being open about that and then public about that is so important. Like seeing
Yeah.
ourselves. Obviously, the whole premise of this podcast is fat representation, plus size representation, and so it's very, very, very important. So thank you for sharing your content with the
Of course.
world.
Yeah. I mean, it was just like I mean, even if you scroll back on my socials, you will see many a phase, many a different era. And I was just publicly figuring it out. And I really had no idea what I was doing. And so
Mhm.
I've only very, very, very recently felt like, okay, like I'm starting to feel very more comfortable in how I represent myself and how I present myself to the world. So
Yeah.
it took a long time.
What made you decide to start posting?
Well, I like we're taught to hide, right? We're taught to be ashamed of who we are as people, how we look, and
Mhm.
everyone assumes that because we look a certain way, we are a certain way, or that we're lazy or whatever.
Yeah.
And the the caricatures of the fat person, everyone thinks that we're
Mhm.
one thing. So, we've always been taught to hide, and I've kind of just never felt for that. Like I just never felt for
Mhm.
that. This is actual bull caca. And, other people in the world, plus size people, deserve to see us living loudly. And so I never really started with the intention of being labeled as a plus size content creator, to be completely
Mhm.
honest. I've always felt and still feel like being plus size is like the least interesting thing about me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, this is like boring snooze fest. Okay, so what? I'm big. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I certainly have like a unique lived experience, right? Living in a larger body
Mhm.
that other plus size people can and do relate to. But
Yeah.
I've always been bigger. So it was kind of
Mhm.
inherent to who I am as a person. So I never felt like I had that. I knew I was a plus size, but I just was never like, whatever. It's just it's just another label.
Yeah.
Um, but that being said, like I found an incredible community through living loudly on the internet because like you and I, we are the minority, right?
Mhm.
Not only are we
Yeah.
the minority, you know, as like just, you know, plus size people over a certain size, but also we're the minority in people who are just like living loudly on the internet and talking about this. And
Mhm.
so, because we're taught to hide and to be ashamed, I just was like, you know what? Other people deserve to see me out here living my best life. So
Mhm.
I kind of still market myself as like a hot girl who just so happens to be fat because it's true.
Mhm.
Um, but I also like, fuck a label. I'll have a label if it means community, but I don't need a label if it means like belittling me or like
Yeah.
putting me in a box because I'm never gonna be
Mhm.
like, no, I'm not to be boxed in. I'm not that
Yeah.
girl.
Labels can be good and bad, as you were saying. Like, community is great, and I think like also a lot of labels, like for me personally, being fat, like how I navigate the world. So like it is for me a big part of who I am, just because it's a big part of how I'm treated. But I also understand the whole like we are more than one thing. We're more
Mhm.
than just plus size or whatever. So like, you know, we're multifaceted. You can see our other interests, like yours is fashion. Like I love makeup and fashion also as well. But yeah, so
Yeah. Exactly. I mean,
yeah.
it's like foundational to who I am as a person, but it's not all I am as a person,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not the only thing I'm good at. It's not the only thing I like to do or talk about. I have so many different things that I love in life that have nothing to do with how I look. They have a lot to do with how I live and navigate in this world, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm reminded every single day of my size, whether it's how I like or not.
Mm-hmm.
So that is going to be intrinsic to who I am and how I live in general. But, when it comes to like my identity, it's just another thing.
Yeah, you don't want it to just define you. Yeah, I get
Exactly.
that. All right, so for this episode, you picked School of Rock. So I'm curious why you picked this movie.
This is one of my favorite movies. I'm not gonna lie, I love this movie. And I also like grew up in a very musical family. So
Same.
like my dad, like he was like an artist when I was younger, and it's like I feel like I describe my family as like living my childhood as like an episode of Glee. We just broke out in song all the time. I mean, minus the teen pregnancy and the like problematic shit.
Yeah.
But I really did feel like I was living in an episode of Glee. It was just so fun, and we just sang and played music all day. It was just so fun. So School of Rock, I was like, this is my vibe, and I love Jack Black. You
Mm-hmm.
know, He's just like kind of wholesome in a sense. So
He
yeah.
is. Yes. It sounds like we grew up in a very similar household because my mom is a music teacher. And so I also grew up with a lot of music, and we both also just break out into song. Like someone says one word and it just like triggers something, and then it comes out of our
Exactly.
mouths.
I'm also a music teacher.
So there
We
you
gotta
go.
talk. We gotta talk.
I hadn't watched this film in like forever, and rewatching it, I'm so glad you picked it. It was so much fun to rewatch. So I'm very excited to talk about it. But before we get into it, I'm going to give a little synopsis for those who haven't seen it. Like my mom, the music teacher, hasn't seen this movie. I'm like, okay, we need to watch it together. What are you doing?
Immediately.
But anyway, all right, the synopsis. So, School of Rock is the 2003 film that centers around the overly enthusiastic guitarist Dewey Finn, who's played by Jack Black. When Dewey gets thrown out of his bar band and finds himself in desperate need of work, posing as a substitute music teacher at an elite private elementary school, he exposes his students to the hard rock gods he idolizes and emulates, much to the dismay of the uptight principal, played by Joan Cusack, as he gets his privileged and precious charges in touch and to their inner rock and roll animals. He imagines redemption at a local battle of the bands. That was rough. I'm sorry. And also, Google, he's not a substitute music teacher. He's just a substitute teacher. And then he introduces like music into the class. But that's what I get for using Google. And not proofreading it. But anyway, also we probably won't talk about her much, but can I just say I love Joan Cusack so much?
I was just gonna say that. I love me some Joan. She is
I love
so
her.
good.
She's so underrated.
So
I love her
underrated.
so much.
Like hot. Sorry, not to objectify Joan, but like hot. Love her.
Hot, talented. What else could you ask for?
Exactly.
Nothing. But she's literally the best. She deserves more credit for sure. One thing that I wanted to touch on first is the fact that literally, I think 2 years before this movie was made, Jack Black was in Shallow Hal. Have you ever seen or heard of that movie?
Cameron Diaz?
No. It's Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, Gwyneth. Sorry. Gwyneth. That's the one.
Whoa.
Yep. You know, I've never seen that movie, and I'm thankful for it, to be honest.
Yeah, you don't need to watch it. I watched it for an episode of the podcast, and you know, I don't need to watch it ever again. It's so bad. They were like trying to be, I think like the studio was trying to be like, image doesn't matter, it's what's on the inside, but it really didn't come off that way. They did a bad job.
Yeah,
it was not good. So yeah, I feel like this is a very different role compared to that one. Very different type of movie. Maybe he learned. Maybe he's like, guys, maybe I shouldn't be involved in these types of movies.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, I mean, I know this is the movie we're talking about, but it definitely like speaks on body dysmorphia and, you know, like feeling like I look different than what I actually am and like all of those things. But also like Jack Black is Jack Black. He's kind of a caricature of himself in everything he plays. So School of Rock is pretty similar. There's a lot of like similarities in every role he plays, or very similar personality types, which I love. I love that about him. But also, you know, sometimes I'm like, same thing.
Yeah, I feel like he definitely gets like pigeonholed into the like silly, goofy guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Which he plays it great.
Right.
Because that is kind of him. He's like playing just, it's kind of like with Ryan Reynolds. I feel like Ryan Reynolds is always playing himself in a movie.
I think the same about Ryan Reynolds. I think the same about Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling sometimes he has more range. I feel like
he has some range. Who?
Will Smith sometimes is the same.
Yeah.
There's all those like typecast people. You know, John Cena. No, not John Cena. The Rock.
Yeah. Honestly, both of them. I feel like John Cena just like pops into movies and does something crazy and then leaves.
I'm like, he was filming for 3 hours that day and then he got to go home with a big fat check.
I mean, work,
I do.
I guess. Jack Black definitely plays the goofy guy a lot, but not mad at it, especially in this one, because Dewey's, I mean, he's kind of iffy in the beginning, for sure. His motivations are not the best, but then, he grows and he learns. And he's so great with those kids.
He is very good with the kids. I mean, that's the thing about like teaching. Everyone assumes teachers are a certain kind of way and like they have to have certain qualities in their personality or a certain amount of patience. And like, how are we going to teach our children to show up as themselves in the world if they're only taught by the certain kind of people? And the
Mm-hmm.
people they see almost the majority of their lives up until they're 18, 19 are just like one type of person. It's like
Yeah,
teachers are just a reflection of like the world and our, they should be able to have different personalities and different styles and stuff. So I really
absolutely.
like that the way he shows up for them as a teacher is very kind of unconventional,
Mm-hmm.
but he does it really well in like a
Yeah,
weird way.
it works. And he connects with the kids really well and they love him, especially at the end. And yeah, I feel like so I am a daycare teacher, and I feel like a lot of the rules and regulations definitely try to make everyone the same. I teach in like a small, predominantly white town, conservative, definitely Trump supporters there a lot. So
Yeah.
makes my
Yeah.
eye twitch a little bit. I'm like,
The echo
okay.
chamber of it all. The echo chamber of it all.
So then I'm trying to teach these kids how to be empathetic and, to
Yeah.
look for answers instead of just believing everything. But I also have to be like careful, which is super annoying because
Yeah.
I could get fired. But
Accuse you of indoctrinating.
yeah. But
No.
anyway, small tangent. Anyway, Dewey, good teacher. Did
Yeah.
you see? Yes, we like. Did you see that the one scene went viral like a couple years ago on TikTok?
Which one?
uh, from School of Rock when Tamika like doesn't want to go out on stage
Oh yeah, and
and
she's like, I'm too big. He goes, I'm sexy and chubby or whatever.
yeah, because she's like they're gonna like make fun of me because I'm fat.
Because I'm fat?
Tamika, hey, you've got something everybody wants. You've got talent, girl. You have an incredible singing voice, and I'm not just saying that. You heard of Aretha Franklin, right? Okay, she's a big lady, but when she starts singing, she blows people's minds. Everybody wants to party with Aretha. And, you know who else has a weight issue?
Who?
Me. But once I get up on stage, start doing my thing, people worship me because I'm sexy and chubby, man.
Why aren't you on a diet?
Because I like to eat. Is that such a crime?
My favorite part is that he doesn't go, "You're not fat, you're beautiful," like that so many people do. He's just like he doesn't dispute it. He's like, "Listen, you have something that other people don't have. You have talent." Aretha Franklin, she's a bigger lady. She kills it every time.
Yeah. That's honestly one of the moments that stands out to me most in the movie because like I always envisioned myself as that little girl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little girl in elementary school who can sing, and I always got, the soulful solos, and I
Mm-hmm.
was the one who got picked to sing RESPECT, and that's great, but in a sense, I'm like similar, like theater kid, like you were a theater kid, and you're cast in the same roles. And so,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I have a talent that other people are envious of, or, as children and young people like, are envious of another girl who can sing, but also
Yeah.
like feeling like I don't get the like dainty, cute ballads or anything. I'm getting the powerful, big, big fat black girl.
Yeah.
That's what I am. And so I really saw myself as that young girl, and
Yeah.
obviously she's so freaking adorable, and
And she kills it.
she
She can
fucking
sing.
kills it. She goes crazy, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's not bad to be compared to that.
No.
So I
But
saw a lot of myself in her when I was younger and watching the movie.
yeah, I guess that didn't register with me till you just said it, the whole like comparing her to Aretha Franklin. Because I've also been like compared to like fat white women. I remember I was doing Footloose and I was one of the friends because, of course, I was one of the side friends. And my director was like, "You need to be more like Rebel Wilson." And I was like, "What does this role have anything in common with nothing?"
Like, why'd you bring Miss Rebel into this? That's crazy.
Pre-weight loss, obviously, but I was like, I literally took that, and in my head I was like, no, I'm not Rebel Wilson. So if you wanted her, I guess you better go call her manager or something. I don't think she's gonna do a free community theater production of Footloose, so I'm gonna be real honest. I don't think so. It sucks to be told you have to be like this, or you're compared to the same types of people, and you're like, I'm nothing like them, and the only reason that you're saying that I am is because of how I look.
Right, exactly.
So.
The only thing I have in common with this person is the fact that they are bigger. And, you know, like, Aretha's great. I mean, I would love to be compared to Aretha, but also, like, a Rebel Wilson, I don't know about that one. You know? Like,
yeah, no, I don't want to be...
Yeah.
No, I'm really okay.
Honestly, I love the way he shows up as himself, like fully as himself, and he in a way, like, he sort of like filters himself because he's in the school, and he starts to sort of pretend to be this person, this like substitute, like Ned Schneebly. Like,
hello, this is Ned Schneebly.
Like, he like starts to pretend to be kind of like very uppity in a sense, and very like private school-ish, whatever that's mean. And, you know, but also he like shows up as himself in front of these kids, and he could have bamboozled everyone and just faked it and just pretended to be a version of Ned Schneebly, but he's not. He was just himself. He just was like calling himself Ned.
Yeah.
So that was, I liked that he was like authentically himself, and it allowed the children in his class, like, all shapes and sizes, you know, like one of the kids was like a stage manager, or, you know, the little flamboyant, you know, kid who's like, I'm the costume manager, and he's just so cute. And like, I just, like, Dewey accepted each and every one of them as who they are. I think because of his lived experience. I mean, he's a character, of course, but because of the fact that he's different, and he lives in a world where other people want him to be a certain way, but he just wants to be himself. His roommate, and what's her name's Sarah.
I don't even know.
What's her name? You know, his girlfriend or the roommate's fiance.
She's annoying.
To be himself.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I think those kids are gonna, if they were real people, would be better off because of that experience of having him as his teacher.
Absolutely. And one of the things that always like bugs me so much is Ned's fiance. She annoys the crap out of me, but also it also cracks me up because she's like, you need to stand up for yourself. And then like he's not standing up to her, and then finally he does in the movie. But it just cracks me up because I'm like, you do realize that you're doing what you're accusing of Dewey of doing. That's a lot of do's in that sentence. But yeah, I was just like, that's ironic. And then, you know, he makes it work. And then the fact that she called the police, I was like, calm down. He's teaching them how to play guitar.
Like, it's not the end of the world. I mean, it would have made headlines, I'm sure, like, if it was real. But, you know, still, I don't know. It's just...
Man arrested for posing as roommate and teaching kids music.
And accidentally singing in what was it, like a welcome home night, or what was it called? Open night. What was it? Open? Like
parents' night or something like that.
He's like, you know, your kids touched me, and I'm pretty sure I touched them too.
Oh, yeah.
Look, you guys, they're just all really cool kids. And if they were mine, I would be so proud. And I am proud just to even know them. My name is Dewey Finn. And no, I'm not a licensed teacher, but I have been touched by your kids. And I'm pretty sure I've touched them. What?
Oh my God!
And then they're like, oh my God.
His relationship with the principal, Joan, love you girl, like, I really like, because she was able to see that like another person in the same profession, like academia, was able to sort of just be himself, and like I think
Mm-hmm.
it allowed her to come out of her shell. So like that speaks to the fact that like being authentically who you are in a group of people that might be different than you. Like
Yeah.
I have plenty of straight size friends, and the way that I'm confident about who I am more confident about myself than a straight size person who's never had to worry about, you know, being fitting, or I mean maybe they have, but like, the way that I show up as myself confidently impacts other people regardless if they're
Mm-hmm.
fat or not. And so I don't know, there's like a lot of like impact that he made in his circles, and that was really cool.
Yeah, confidence and just authenticity is contagious. Like, the more you do that, it not only helps you, but it can also influence people around you to be like, hey, they're being themselves. Maybe I could do that. So there you go.
Yeah, I was thinking too earlier, like he's definitely like, they definitely wrote Dewey as like a caricature of like a lazy deadbeat
Yeah.
that guy. And I mean, in one way, he didn't really ever have a glow up. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he had a glow up in that, like, he starts to understand, like, the impact that he's having on these kids' lives,
Yeah.
and that is
More
really
like an
important to him.
inside glow
Yeah,
up.
yeah, but he never really, like, changes the way he dresses or something. Like, he never really changes. So I appreciated that. But the way that he wrote him, everyone sort of looked down on him, because he was sort of, like, unkept and, like, disheveled and, like,
Mm-hmm.
a chubbier guy, and, like,
He was sleeping on the floor with like open takeout boxes next to his bed.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, you couldn't give the man like a bed frame? Like,
No.
but I mean, that's not necessarily because he's fat or anything, but I don't know. It's interesting the way they wrote him, and they really like wanted to drive home the fact that he's just this like long haired, kind of sloppy guy. And it's like, throw on the top that he's fat, and people will think that, oh, he's sloppy because he's fat, not because he just doesn't have a shit together.
Yeah. He's lazy because he's fat. That
Right.
type of thing.
Yeah.
But I do think that they do a good job of like, he does evolve. Like you said, like not outwardly maybe, because like even in the end, he's still like a slob. Like
Mhm.
he's still, when the kids come to get him, he's still sleeping on the floor.
Mhm.
And but like he has changed as a person, and he has motivation, and he cares more about other people than just himself, which I
Mhm.
think was like the big problem in the beginning, is he was mostly thinking about himself.
Yeah.
And so seeing that transformation was really nice.
Yeah.
And I really liked that they didn't have his appearance change. Like he didn't have to lose weight to become a better person or change his style, despite the fact that that one kid who was the costume designer desperately wanted him to. Isn't there? I'm pretty sure he says something like, I hate you and how you dress, or something like that.
Tacky, and I hate you.
You're tacky and I hate you.
Billy, we've already told me off. Let's move on.
You're tacky and I hate you.
Okay, you see me after class.
And then
Quote that
that's like
all.
after they already ragged on him, and then he's like, okay, we're done with me. Let's move on. That's the one you quote. The one I quote literally like 2 weeks ago was stuck in my head. And my mom, this is when I discovered she'd never seen this movie, because I was quoting it. And she's like, I have no clue what that's from. I was like, the legend of the rent was way past due. And Katie, you come in with the bass.
But the legend of the rent was way past due. And then, Katie, you come in with the bass.
And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like,
Oh.
School of Rock. You're a music teacher and you've never seen School of Rock? Get it together.
So good. I love that portion. It's just so good. It's just so good. And he's so musically talented. And people underestimate the fact that he is like very musically talented. He has a whole little band and stuff. But he's very good at what he does when it comes to music. But I also like think a lot about the way that the children see him, because these kids were like raised by a certain kind of person, and they go to private school and they're taught to think that this teacher is kind of fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think of Summer, Memories All Alone in the Moonlight, Summer,
Yeah.
Miranda Cosgrove,
Yeah.
and the way that she was just like, Mr. Schneebly, like, I don't think that's the way we're supposed to do it. Like, she's very
Yeah.
uppity, and like, it's cute and all, but the way they look down on him as a grown man who like is just trying to figure out his life, it's interesting because they were raised by certain people who might think differently of people who look and act like him, and
Hmm.
like, there's so many different ways you can think about it, but I thought about that too. I was like, dang, these children.
Yeah, and then he also takes the time to understand them and what they like and what they need, whereas their parents are just like, here's what you need to do. This is what you need to accomplish. Like, especially Zach's dad. Like, we see him going through like this struggle of, oh, I love this thing, but my dad like is telling me that's like not what I should be doing. I should be focusing on my homework and classical, and like rock is, I don't know, wrong, I guess. Why do
Yeah,
people hate on rock music so much?
I don't know.
Annoying. Because
I
it's
don't
really
know.
good.
It's like the whole sex, drugs, and rock and roll kind of thing of like it's bad. It's like this is culture. This is music. Like
Also, most artists are probably doing drugs.
100%.
Even,
I mean, have you
yeah,
seen rock?
like, for real. So,
Oh,
whoa. So yeah, I'm just like, you guys, not just rockers do drugs. And I also think, like, the history of rock and of honestly most music probably also gives it its unfortunate, like,
reputation.
yes, thank you, reputation. They end up liking it in the end. They're like, school of rock, school of rock.
It's honestly iconic. And like the end bit where he has his little first full circle moment, and he's teaching the little School of Rock like school thing, and they're singing their little song. They're like Ruby Dooby Dooby, and I'm like, it's so wholesome, and like you can honestly see yourself in any of the kid characters, but I don't know. It's just like he's probably in his 30s
Mm-hmm.
in the
Oh, for
movie.
sure.
I
Maybe
think they
even late 20s, honestly.
really.
I mean, he probably is in his 30s. But I'm like, I don't know what I'm
Maybe
doing.
late 20s.
I guess I'm in my early 20s, so I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 27, so I'm thinking it's probably late 20s or early 30s,
Mm-hmm.
and like he's not. I don't know. I just think it's cool that he found his way in a
Yeah,
sense. That the kids sort of helped him.
he did. And then he
Yeah.
even helps Ned out. Because then Ned, like you see in the end, he has like kind of like the light back in his eyes and he's like happy. He's still teaching kids, which is what he likes, but he's also implementing his love of music into it too. So it's like,
Yeah, face paint.
you don't gotta
Face.
give up both. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, there's a way to like do your passion and also like pay yourself. That's one thing, but yeah.
It's hard in this economy.
Oh, girl,
Being a creative is not easy.
it's not fun at all.
No. I mean, it is sometimes, but not all the time.
No, most of the time it's not at all.
I don't know why we started talking like this. This has nothing to do with the movie. No one talks like this in the movie.
Kid who played the piano,
Mm-hmm.
what was his name?
Lawrence.
Lawrence. Okay. And these are extremely, extremely musically talented children.
Mm-hmm. I think about the stage version all the time because I don't know if
Oh
the
yeah,
like kids in the movie were actually playing their instruments, but I know the kids on stage were playing their instruments.
the kids in the movie were.
They were.
They were.
Nice. Period.
Very good casting, I will say.
And that's hard to find. Like, I mean, there are tons of kids who want to be actors and whatever, but then you have to find people that can actually like play the instruments
For
and
sure.
sound good, and like that's a lot. That's a lot.
It is
Good
all-
job, guys. You're
Yeah.
grown up now. You're probably older than me, but good job.
Yeah, they've had a whole like reunion together.
They did.
Oh, and one of the children, sorry, two of the children ended up marrying each other.
Which ones?
So, the like chubbier white boy
Okay.
with the mole.
Mm-hmm.
You remember him?
Yeah.
I think he was one of the like stage managers. Was not in the band, but like one of the stage
Okay.
managers.
Now I gotta
And
look
then
it up.
one of the singers, the cute little blonde one.
Okay. Where she's like, the sun will come out.
No, the other one.
The other one.
Wait, no, that is the sun will come out.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yes, they married each other.
Yes, they did. Yeah, it's those two. Oh, that's so cute.
Cute.
Adorable.
Love
They
it.
look, their wedding pictures are everything.
Mm.
Insert picture right here. That's really cute. But anyway, that's adorable. I love it when those things happen. And they met as kids.
So
Like-
cool. I love a meet cute.
Everyone's always rooting for a showman's. But like, that's even cuter that like they started off as kids and they probably like, I don't know if they grew up together or if they like, you know, went their separate ways and came back together.
Yeah, I think
You
they
never know.
went separate ways and reconnected somehow. But
If I got married to my co-star, like if I was in their position, I would want Jack Black to be like the officiant. That would, I don't think he was, but that would be amazing.
do you think he was invited to the wedding?
And I gotta look it up. I hope so.
I would feel weird if they weren't, if they did not invite him.
Maybe he was busy,
Some
but
respect on his name.
put some respect on his name. Was he? No, Jack Black was not present.
Oh,
That doesn't mean he wasn't invited.
correct. Let's just assume he was.
Jack Black was unable to make it due to filming commitments, according to the New York Post.
Probably
He
filming
did, however, send a video message to congratulate the couple.
Oh.
So that was nice. Not as cool as being the officiant,
No.
but still nice. Honestly, do you think Jack Black would? I don't even have anyone to marry right now. But you think he's available? No.
I mean, Jack Black's like one of the cool guys. Like he has like a YouTube channel, or I think
Him
he
and,
did
like-
it. I don't know if he still posts on it, but he was very active on the internet for a while.
Him and like, I feel like Keanu Reeves is a chill dude.
Mm.
He gives good vibes to me.
Love me some Keanu. I'm not gonna lie. Although he's also kind of one of the people that are sort of typecasted, in my opinion. He's
Yeah,
the same in the movie. He's like
Al-
guns. Love
Although
guns.
in the beginning of his career, majority of the movies I've seen of him are him younger, and it's
Yeah.
like he went from like the stoner to the heartthrob to the action
yeah,
star. That's
and
like
now he's in the action.
yeah.
Me and my husband are watching through all the John Wick movies right now. We've seen them many times, but every time I'm like, this man needs to stop talking
Make-
like that. He's like, "I need guns," and I'm like, he gets like 3 lines the whole movie, but he's in every single shot. It's crazy.
And all of his lines, he just says guns.
Lots of guns. I'm like, Keanu, shut the fuck up.
I've never seen any of the John Wick movies. I've never seen The Matrix. So
You got it.
I've seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
I've never even seen that.
It's okay. Parenthood, I think, was one that he was in. And then the one where he's like sending letters to Sandra Bullock. Or Lake House? Lake House. I think that's what it's called.
Oh yeah. See, this is what I get for marrying like a movie nerd, like a superhero action movie nerd. He just loves them John Wick movies.
See, I'm a movie nerd. Like, I got my degree in film and media, but I'm like the opposite. I hate action movies. I'm not. The only superhero movies that like I love is X-Men and Spider-Man.
Mm.
Those are the ones that I will watch. I remembered something that I didn't say. There is
Yes.
one part in the movie where I was like, why did this have to happen? When he's like, I'm hungry. And of course, who has the sandwich in their desk? Tamika. I'm like, man, you couldn't have had a different kid have it in
Mhm.
their desk. Okay.
It's so true.
That's like a small thing though. Like compared, especially in 2003, like,
Season 3 is a long time.
that's over 20 years ago. That's crazy.
Was it that Tamika was the only one that had a sandwich, or she was the only one that offered her sandwich?
I got the impression that they had just had lunch, and I got the impression she was the only one that still like had extra food in her desk and was like, "Here, you can have my sandwich."
Well, good for her for being generous.
Yeah.
And that's on period, Tamika. Yes, ma'am.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring, girl.
So in terms of positive or negative fat representation, what would you say this film is?
I'm positive. Big thumbs up for me.
I agree. I left, like, when the credits were rolling, I felt happy after having watched it, which is not always the case, especially when I'm, like, paying more attention to how fat people are represented when I'm rewatching it for the podcast. I'm always left with, like, this warm and fuzzy feeling, but this movie definitely gave me that. It was really nice. Plus, honestly, other than that, the sandwich thing, when one of the kids, when they're ragging on him, calls him like fat and something else.
You're a fat loser and you have body odor.
All right.
That, and then the scene where they talk about like, I'm sexy and chubby. Other than that, they don't bring up weight. It's not a factor.
Yeah.
Not a factor.
Good for them in 2003.
For real, especially coming off of Shallow Hal 2 years earlier. Jack Black, if you're listening, come on the podcast. Oh my gosh, that would be a dream. Jack Black, if you're listening, please come on the podcast. Would you like to plug your social media or anything so the audience can find you?
Sure. I'm Madi.McCool on all socials. Maddie is spelled Madi, and my last name is McCool, so McCool, which is such a fun, cool last name to have. I am going to start my YouTube channel back up. Yeah. So I'm really excited about that. I don't know when this is going to air, but it may be up by then. So feel free to check out. I'm doing a lot of vlogs and things like that. So.
And I'll have all of her social medias linked below so that you guys can just scroll and click on it. Also, the podcast social medias and my social medias are linked below. Please, if you like the podcast, rate us 5 stars. It means a lot. Also, share it. You know, be like, hey, have you heard of this? No? Here you go. They'll thank you for it later. So, until next time, stay fat and fabulous. Bye.